the pleasure with being as regular as we are, and I have the AKAPAD Army to thank for this. But one of the pleasures of this podcast, of the Film Buff Podcast, is doing episodes like this, where just a night ago on Hulu, I was able to select, watch, read a description, didn't watch the trailer for Thelma 2024. It literally just dropped on Hulu. I got into this movie thinking it was a documentary. I just put it on for something in the background. And as soon as I heard, who is it? Fred Heckinger. This is the son in the movie. As soon as I heard his voice, and I know him from White Lotus. As soon as I heard Fred Heckinger's voice, I went to my TV. And I'm like, is this a documentary, or is this like a documentary with dramatic, like interpretations or elements? Because that's not. There's a DeLorean documentary that does something similar, but no, this movie, because of the power of streaming, dropped into my lap, and I want to bring it to you. I want to introduce you guys to Thelma 2024, a movie that completely blew me away. And is the reason why we love movies. It's the reason why movies are what they are. Let's go.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production. Take one.
Action.
AKAPAD. Welcome back. Yeah, so episodes like this, they drop, they ruin my release schedule, they create havoc. But this is kind of like an all hands on deck. Let's get this one out there. Let's let people know Josh Morgolin. That's our writer, that's our director. If you go through some of his online wiki and whatever, this guy seems to do everything. He's actor, writer, director, producer, editor, jack of all trades, master of all. And he is a true master. When you watch this movie, it is the power of film. Now, dare I say, the power of cinema? Yeah, there's a side of me that just wants to say that this movie, with the intent of this movie, is to suck you in and make you fall in love. We're rooting for a woman that cannot walk. She may not have all her mental faculties at the same, all the time, but she definitely has them. She's slow speaking, she's slow thinking, doesn't know how to use technology, cannot drive a car, and it's, here we go, right? All systems are go. This is a movie, and I say it's a movie because we're pretty much in the world. I mean, Dune Prophecy, just for example, just dropped on HBO Max. And if you watch the first episode of that, okay, like there's a little bit of a setup. It's hard to know exactly what's happening. It's hard to get sucked in, but it's episode 1, and the show is asking you to stick around. Films are complete experiences. Films transport your mind. They transport you for 2 hours, where you just get sucked in and you're in this world. You're in this false reality created by the director. And it's done so well here that you're rooting for this woman to hunt down the people that took her money. That's really what this movie is. I had no idea, just watching this, that Parker Posey, she's fantastic in this movie. Richard Roundtree, who, I don't know, he's been in 1 million movies. He's our old guy companion. We have Clark Gregg. We know him from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, many things. He's incredible. And then the villain is Malcolm McDowell, like perfect. We have a movie that we want to hug our elderly loved ones. We want to help our elderly as soon as we're done with this movie. This movie teaches us of the threats of the modern world. of how scary it is. The elderly are prey for a lot of what's out there. A lot of these scammers. This movie educates that. I always say the best movies are education experiences. We see the difficulties of aging, of getting old. There's a scene where June Squibb, this is our Thelma, and Fred Heckinger, they kind of have a moment where they have to break up their journey, break up their friendship, and they have to do the speeches. This is a film trope. We see this time and time again. It's okay. Let the formula unfold. As this scene is happening, we all, as audience members, we know what this is. We've all been there. But again, the strength of the writer, the strength of the director, the strength of Josh Margolin, I just like that last name, it's different. This one is different. This trope is different. This trope is better. And our heart's broken when they break up. But guess what? Tragedy, a near miss, if you will, happens. And then someone needs to come to the rescue. We see these things written on the wall. Some call it hanging the lantern. But there's such a satisfying payoff when they occur. There's nothing in this movie that's not predictable. There's nothing in this movie that we cannot pause and maybe draft out what we think will happen. And I will say, because I know the Film Buff audience is well educated in all things film, I don't think it would be difficult to predict every single move in this movie. But what happens is our director lets our actors do their characters. He knows their characters. Everyone understands the characters. Everyone understands the beats that they're going for. And this is a little bit of just a relationship of why it's important for a director to have a relationship with their crew and everyone around them. Because there's a lot of things you cannot control when it comes to film production. And that's the true movie magic. And that's what this movie is. If you told me that this movie was directed by Steven Spielberg, I probably would have been like, yeah, I see it. You know, it's a little bit of an older Spielberg, but you know, it's like The Terminal. And what I'm trying to say is that there's a whimsy in this movie. There's a discovery. There's just something that thrills you because it's such a simple story. It's done so well, and the characters are so perfect. And this goes with the actors portraying what's in front of the camera and the work done behind the camera. I don't know what the budget is for this AKAPAD versus movies. $12 million. It looks way over. Some wonderful night shots there. When we get into nighttime, when we get into our final location, there's just an amber glow. I love it so much. Anytime, and I don't care if it's digital technology or not. Anytime some of these guys they bring the crew, they bring everyone, but we're shooting at night, and we know we're shooting at night. Anytime that's done in film production, anytime in Hollywood history, I pay attention. I'm impressed. This one is fantastic. I don't want to spoil too much. I'm just here to tell you guys that Thelma, available right now on Hulu, is one of the best movies you can spend your time with. Rock and roll, guys. I love you.
Okay, that's a wrap.